Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Project 360. And as you know, the disclaimer everybody comes in here. We be respectful with our comments. We could agree to disagree. We're all adults here. And also, if you would like to come on the show and join us, please feel free to do so.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
I was just doing a disclaimer right now. So, everybody good? Rafael, can you hear me? You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
London.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm good.
Well,
It's good. It's good. I was just doing a disclaimer saying that letting them know that everybody we're all adults here. Any opinion is their opinion. Respect the person's opinion, and let's move forward. This is episode 63, and we'll be talking about family secrets. Who does it benefit? Part 2. And would you like to go start, or you want me to go and then you guys come in?
Yeah, go ahead, ladies.
yeah.
All right. Last Tuesday we was talking about family secrets, as far as those that's in the shadows. But there are some also that are, you know, boundaries that has been crossed, as far as a child feeling that they were neglected or they wasn't paid attention to or anything like that. And that puts up animosity, division within the family, and oftentimes mental illness that's not being talked about also hurts individuals as they grow up. Because as they grow up, they find out that, things are going on and stuff like that within the family, but nobody talks about these things. And there's nothing wrong with being mentally ill or having a setback or anything like that, because we're all dealing with trauma in some form or fashion. And and where it all starts is within your family. It's not something you pick up from outside. It's something that's within your family that has not been addressed and constantly pushed up under the rug. And now it's no longer able to ignore it, because now you're growing up and you're realizing that these are issues that you are carrying with you. And majority of the times, that's what a lot of our issues as we grow up, as drinking, drug abuse, and stuff like that, is because we're trying to mask things that were never addressed. And some people just can't contain it and hold it in, where it starts seeping out in different ways, being violent, being abused, or being the abuser. So as we get older, we start recognizing these things. And some people, they do go get help, and some people, they don't. And it goes on to their children and their children. And it's never addressed. It's never um, getting proper treatment or proper help to deal with it. And it just continues on. And that's where we get our generational curses from and stuff like that. So, with that being said, would you guys like to add something into that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, just the hardest part, like we always talk about, just recognizing it and being honest with yourself. If it is a problem or you do have an issue or certain issues, especially if you feel like you can't overcome them. But a lot of times we, just human nature, you're gonna be in denial. Of course, nobody wants to be the crazy person or or no matter what you've been through. So But definitely self-recognition is just, just trying to find that trauma or that problem, or if at least try to address it, for the most part. um, which isn't easy because it's hard to talk about certain things. You don't trust. It's hard to trust people. Like we were talking about a couple episodes ago about that's why we should embrace therapy, especially more as in our culture. And you shouldn't be scared of that. But or at least just find somebody that you really do trust. Which is hard, but there's people out there that because I got a couple people I can trust, with stuff like that. But yeah, just don't be afraid, like you said, to help. Like ask for help, man. Like that's some of our hardest. That's one of the hardest things to do as a human being is just ask somebody for help, especially when you're grown. So, but yeah, I definitely agree though.
Yolanda, you got anything to add?
Yes, I'm just going to piggyback off what you said. It really does have everything to do with what went on in the home with that person as a child growing up, what they saw in their home, what they saw their parents do, how their parents react to the same situations, what they've seen their whole lives. But as a child, we put ourselves in survival mode.
Right.
So to protect ourselves from our surroundings, because it's too much chaos, it's too much for us to be dealing with what's going on. So to protect yourself, you come up with a mechanism that makes you feel safe, and you hide behind that.
Right.
And if you don't ever heal and deal with it, it comes out. It comes out in your relationships, and that's all relationships,
Right.
platonic friendships, love relationships. It shows up because you're still in survival mode. You still feel like you're that child that needs to be protected when you're not. That's a trauma or a wound that you have to address.
Right.
Or else you're gonna keep on going in a circle. It's just cyclical. You're gonna keep repeating the same bull until you get it right, until you change how you react to it, until you heal what's going on and makes you do what you're doing in that situation.
Right.
It's like it's about sitting with yourself, having a conversation with you about you, learning your triggers, learning the stuff that set you off, learning why you react to things the way you react to them, and being able to see, okay, well, this is what happened. So I had some abandonment issues. I got some self-sabotaging issues that I need to work on that were all caused by something that happened a long time ago.
Right.
And we never dealt with it because we didn't know. And you won't know until you sit with yourself. And sometimes some people can't do that. Sometimes you do need to go and talk to someone professional.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that. We've been made to feel shame about needing to talk to a doctor or a therapist or a psychologist. If that's what you need to do, because you don't feel like comfortable or safe or vulnerable enough to tell somebody you love, go speak to somebody who don't know you.
Right.
Because the more you hold on to stuff, the more you keep adding this protective shield. You've been doing this your whole life. So now you 30, 40, 50 years in with this shield around you from all these years of something that happened to you when you were a child, something you saw when you were a child. And so to protect yourself from what you saw, this is how you reacted.
Right. But as a family, I mean, I believe that a lot of families, they are aware of what's going on, but a lot of people protect the secret. You understand what I'm saying? Daddy or mama might have slapped each other around, and that's triggering for some kids. They grow up, they get in relationships, and they feel that that's love. That's why a lot of our young ladies get in those kind of abusive relationships, because that was love. That was what love was supposed to be expressed to them.
Right. That's what I saw. That's what went on in my household. So right. I'm assuming that's what love is, and it's not.
Right. And then you got the young men that feel that that's how I control my woman. You understand? It's not a thing of controlling anyone if you can't even control your own self.
Right.
And you know, as far as a unit of a family, I mean, as a mother, you want to cultivate a loving environment for your children.
Right.
You know, like this old saying used to be, "Mama's baby, daddy's maybe," and all that kind of stuff. You know, the mother was always the seed. It was always the nest with the mother. But now we have fathers that's the nest, that's taking care of their children and stuff like that, because the mothers are abusive.
Right.
But all of that comes from unhealed trauma, from family secrets. Because the family didn't know Auntie so and so was schizophrenic. They just thought she was crazy. You know, she's in the corner by herself and talking to herself. Oh, leave her alone. She's having her fit. But not letting the kids know. And kids don't know no better, you know? And so now, as you grow up, you start having these schizo or whatever issues, or ADHD or PTSD, all of this stuff, and you don't understand it. And so most people self-medicate. And then some people don't make it. You know, they feel that it's too much for me. You know, we just seen on TV where a dude, he unalived himself because of the situation with his family on TV. Sister wives. That's pressure from the family secrets. So, I mean, that's why I always said that secrets hurt people. Because it's someone that wants to have it, that needs to have it out. They want it out so we can discuss it as a family, so we can heal as a family. Because if one person heals, they're ostracized out of the family because they're telling the truth now. The secret is out and the family don't want the secret out. So we got to get rid of this over here that's starting this. And that shouldn't be. You should be embracing that, because that person is your strength of your family. You know, when more people come out and discuss it, you don't have to go out there and shout it to the world. But within your people, you should be healing, or it's going to continue to go on to the next generation and to the next generation.
Until you heal what's in you, until you let your inner child know that you are safe, protected, and loved.
That's also a unit too.
But healing is individual. It's an individual's.
Oh yeah,
It don't have
nothing
to do with the unit, because
at
best, if that's the environment you grew up in, nobody is trying to fix or heal or work on anything. They are very comfortable and very satisfied dealing with what they've been dealing with and handling it in the way that they've been handling it. Not thinking that this is toxic and traumatic for my child, or this isn't a happy environment for my child to be in. What about what they're seeing? What am I showing them? What am I teaching them?
But most of the parents have been through the same exact thing.
Yeah, basically, you know, it's just not even, you know, it gets so natural, like you don't even realize that whatever is toxic at that point. Like, yeah, that's usually the case with a lot of our households, unfortunately, you know. But like I said, it's been going on for so long, or generation after generation. You know, who are you to be the you know, the stand up for what's right, you know? So yeah, I get that part too, but you know, you can't say that within your whole family. But that's what we're kind of saying, like not a unit, but at least like try to find somebody that you can somewhat relate to, you know, or trust. Like, because I mean, it's hard doing anything on your own. I mean, like, because honestly, everybody needs some kind of support system. I mean, no matter how strong you are, you know, to a degree, you know. And that's just to keep you focused and well-rounded as well, you know, to let you know that your healing is correct at times, you know, because everybody gonna make you seem like you crazy because you doing the right thing, you know, so that might have you reverting back to old habits or bad habits sometimes. So I mean, yeah, so everybody needs a little support to a degree. I'm not saying like, no, not embrace or confront everybody all the time, but you know, at least you got to find some kind of a way to let loose that's, healthier than that, violently confrontational, put it like that. Or, yelling or screaming, because that ain't gonna fix nothing either. But definitely gotta look for other avenues, like I said, while doing that healing as well, because, you never know where that help might come from, And some people can't never heal because they don't have a support, somebody to talk to, or, they're keeping it in, or, or you might be making progress. Some, like you said, that trigger comes and you revert probably worse to where you was at, So, yeah, so.
I believe that when you're healing, once you decide to take that step to heal and you're healing properly, because healing is, you got to let everything out. Everything. It's not I pick what I want to let go. It's that I want to heal. And to heal, you have to let everything go and start rebuilding. And like we talked about the tower moments, we have to have those moments, because a lot of us will hold on to stuff and we'll say that we're healing. But my behavior still does the same thing. When I still get triggered, Whereas it's not that you won't be triggered, you'll be able to manage it. And that's where, like we said, anger management, emotional intelligence, um, we could go on and on with different things that a lot of people suffer from. Some people, they can't even talk to people without yelling, screaming, hollering at them and stuff like that. And that's just how they are. And because a lot of people repeat what has happened to them to other people. And so now it becomes the norm, like you said. But when that person does decide to truly heal, that's when everything is revealed to them. And they'll see it within their family. And then you now understand instead of understanding. And once the understanding comes, you want to heal more. And you'll go deeper inside of yourselves. Now, if some people, they do have to get therapy, because the deeper they get within, it's going to be very traumatic for them. Because when you go back, when you're going through therapy, you have to relive those moments. But remember, you're not in the moments right now. You're just reliving them. That's it. And then you're correcting things within them. The visions, them times when you're going back into those areas. That's when the triggers come in. How am I going to react? Now you have options. You have tools on how to react to things. Somebody might get mad at you and call you, cursing you out. Instead of you cursing them back out, hey, I got to get off the phone right now. We'll talk another time. That's growth right there. Instead of you, and then y'all mad at each other, slamming down the phone. You throwing the phone across the room and stuff like that. Anger is a curse too. To be violently angry, that you will put hands on people. You want to break their windows in their cars and stuff like that because you want that person to hurt just as much as you hurt. That's what children do. That's children. I want to hurt you to make you feel my pain. And that's what people, our family, it's in your family. Starts as a kid, you don't do what I say. Give me back what I bought you. That's trauma right there to a kid. Where a kid don't want to accept nothing from anybody. And when someone genuinely loves them and want to give them things, some people are so damaged, don't even realize they're damaged, that they can't even accept love. And that's sad. And that's the majority of us now in this society. Everybody's on autopilot right now. Everybody's on autopilot. Nobody's really listening to what's going on within. They're looking at what's going on outside. You hear it every day. People call you, did you hear about the news? Da, da, da. That's what's going on the outside. How are you doing physically? That should be a conversation. How are you doing emotionally? How you doing spiritually? Are you balanced today? What's going on? How you feeling? Our conversations every day is, hey, we don't talk about the news. We talk about how we're gonna better ourselves every day. What we got to give, what do we have to give? Because see, all of us that's listening to this and talking about this topic, this should be normalized.
Mm-hmm.
These conversations, this is what I'm talking about when I say that it should be talked about in the family, whereas a lot of families are embarrassed because they were told it's embarrassing. But I'm not, like I said, not screaming on the mountaintop. I'm talking about talking to your family. Your family is the people that love you, trust you, and cultivate you. Not people you related to. I'm talking about your family. And when you get what they say, your tribe. People say your tribe, and it could be your related family members too. People you related to. That could be your tribe. But some people don't make the cut. We cool and all, but you're not my. You not. I wouldn't consider you my family. When you cut me at my legs, that's not family. Family supports you. And our terminology, that's what we need to change a lot of things too. Like we always say words and spells and stuff like that. But we continue to spew these words out. That's my family. But that person keeps, that person or persons keep cutting you. So, I mean, we as a people, we are, if you're healing, you are the light for your family or the people you related to. Because once you speak up, you heal for generations. It may not be the generation that you're in, but I bet you the ones that's coming up after you, they won't have to deal with it because it's already out in the open. Just like one of my cousins told me, I went to jail so y'all didn't have to go. One of my older cousins told me that. And there's a lot of us that have never been to jail. It's just like those that do drugs. They did the same thing. I did drugs so y'all wouldn't do it. So those are like hidden secrets. You don't know who was on drugs back in the days. Nobody's gonna talk about it.
Facts. Especially back in the day.
Right. Nobody's gonna talk about it. That's the dark room secrets. They in the back room. You don't know what they're doing in the back room. And they keeping you out as a kid. Get out of here.
Right.
And I hear you bubbling over. I feel your energy. What's on your mind?
So I'm all for talking to somebody. The reason why I say, like just like Trey says, because some of your family get dropped by the wayside when you start working on yourself. Because everybody don't want to see you do better. You become the eyeball out because you bucking the system. You the black sheep. You that one because you're not doing what they always what has always been done in your family or in society. That's what it's about. Who said we gotta do what everybody else did before us?
Right.
If that's not what makes you happy, if that's not what gives you peace of mind, if that's not what makes you grow, then why are you doing it? Because so and so did it in the family, and that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
But was so and so happy, or you just too scared to come out and step outside of your comfort zone because we get real comfortable there. Anything outside of them, like, because I know what this is. I know how to deal with this. I'm not gonna go over there because I never done that before, and I don't know what's gonna happen. But that's what you're supposed to do. So it's good to heal with people, but for the most part, healing is self. And you can talk to people till you blue in the face, but if those same people not doing the same thing, then it's a moot point.
Right.
It's about sitting, again, I'm gonna keep saying that, with yourself. And if you need to step outside and start talking to other people, because no healing, no happiness, no health, no money is gonna come from anything externally. So it's
Right.
not coming from outside of you. It's absolutely got to be found inside. You got to learn to be happy, whether you in a relationship or not. Happy whether you making $50 an hour or $10 an hour. You have to make those decisions. You can't let somebody else make it for you. And if you
Right.
sitting up listening to what Sally, Mama, Chris, John, Paul, Luke, and all of them got to say, then all you doing is taking on what they say. Because now
Take it on their.
you don't know what you want. Right. You don't know what you want because Mama said this and Chris said this and and if I don't do this, why? It's not their life.
Right.
At the end of the day, is that what makes you happy? Is that what feels you? Is that what gives you peace of mind? Is that where you find balance? Does it make is it a strong foundation? Or is it some BS because that's what Mama and them did, and that's what he did, and that's what she did, and that's what they did?
But you know what? I think that a lot of times, what with me is my intuition was pulling. And when I started listening instead of like, nah, this is not like that. And I started listening to my body, because your body talks to you. Your stomach is when you're around certain people, do your stomach hurt?
Take note of how you feel after you come from hanging out with your folks.
Mm-hmm.
That you say your folks. What you feel like when you get by yourself.
Right. Because it should be you still should have that flow. You still should have that flow. I mean, like I said, it's being able to feel things around me, like really feel it. Knowing now what's mine and what's not mine. And not taking on, even with them my relations of people I'm related with. There's some cousins I just don't vibe with. I mean, it's not that I dislike them. I just don't vibe with you. You know, it doesn't feed me to be around you. And it's no harm, no foul to nobody. We just don't vibe. And there's nothing wrong with that. And some people take it offensively as if you think you're better than me. No, it's just that I recognize my energy doesn't mix with your energy. Because every time we're together, it's as if we're competing, or that person's putting you down, or vice versa. But there's nothing wrong with saying no.
Right.
That's some people, they can't say no. Just like I was raised where the oldest was responsible for the little kids. If y'all are playing and the little ones go out there and tear out, you're responsible. So I used to just stay by myself. So I don't have to be responsible for nobody but me. But that's also hurting on a kid too, when you put responsibility on a kid when they're barely learning the responsibility for themselves. You know, just because I'm older than my brother doesn't mean that I'm his mom.
Right.
You know, I can only tell you so much because we only 2 years apart. You gonna tell me to shut up? I can't whoop you. But as we grow older, we grow wiser, because we experience things, and with experience comes wisdom. And if we don't learn, we will learn before we leave. And if not, we'll come back and it'll repeat, and it'll repeat, just like the relationships we're in. If we get in them bad relationships, those traumatic relationships that you're triggered because they're triggering, and you guys are both triggering each other because unhealed trauma. But you may find someone you get in a relationship with that you guys do your individual healing. Because I believe that people can be together and heal, but it's got to be both of you on the same page. You can't have one
Not
person
necessarily
healing.
the same pace. We both got to be working on healing.
That's what I'm saying, on the same
Yeah.
page of healing. If one person can't be healing and the other person is not, it's not going to work. Because that person's going to get frustrated because they think they better than, oh, you think you're better than me because da da da, and that's where that division starts again. But it's all about love. And people need to understand love is within yourself first. You got to love yourself. You can't love no one else if you can't love yourself.
You can't expect nobody to love you when you don't love you.
Right. But you can't love anybody either. You can't pour. You don't have nothing to pour. What do you got to pour?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you definitely can't pour from an empty cup. You got to be mindful of who's deserving of your energy.
That's right.
It's about discernment and learning whether or not this is a give and take. Is this relationship reciprocal?
Right.
Are you pouring into me equally? Is it balanced? Or is it one-sided? Am I the only one doing all the work? And if that's the case, then you need to pull back. And again, in that process, you might lose everybody.
Yeah.
You might lose everybody and everything. However, you letting go of dead weight so all the good stuff can come in because you're working on yourself. You're getting you together.
Yeah.
And when you start pouring all of that back into you that you were trying to pour in over here and help this person and pour out over there, then you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
So you got to look out for self first. You got to be selfish first. You got to do self-care, love on you, pour into you, just like you wanted to pour into all of them people who wasn't giving it back,
Right.
where it wasn't reciprocal, where it's not helping me, it's not supportive, it's not uplifting, it's not pouring into me just like I'm pouring into it.
Right.
It don't mean it doesn't mean you don't love them. That's not what that means. It means you're doing what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start healing yourself, you start healing your bloodline.
Right.
You start healing the people you come in contact with. You heal yourself more by healing others. But it's definitely your traumas and they're not your fault. Your wounds and karma, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to fix it.
That's the number one
Not
thing.
somebody else.
Yeah.
That's something you have to do. You have to be accountable for how you contributed to this situation just like that other person did.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take accountability. Understand why you did what you did. Why do I move like this? What happened that this is how I behave when I'm interacting with other people? And learning that the stuff you see wrong in somebody else is something you need to work on in you. Because why you got such a problem with them? Why is that such a concern of yours? What somebody else is doing. Is it benefiting you to be worried about what they got going on? Not my circuit, not my monkeys. Not my circus, not my monkeys. It's just not.
Right.
We don't. You can't heal and thrive in chaos. It's just not possible.
No.
I'm not saying it's not possible to get what you want. It's possible to get what you want in chaos too, but it's just not going to be in a way that you would like for it. And it might not even be for longevity. It might just be there for a good time, not a long time. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I need equal reciprocity. We need to be learning and growing and supporting each other together. Pouring into each other. Yeah, you do. Is that what you do? You need to do more of this. I don't understand why you're not doing this.
Right.
you're great at this. This is something you need to pour
Support.
into you and push you and support what you want to do. Not all now. 9 times out of 10, the family gonna be like, I don't know why you trying to do that. You need to just go. Well, why you won't just be and do like your cousin and them, or why won't you go? Why?
Right.
Why do I need to be like everybody else? I'm an individual.
Right.
I'm glad I'm different. That's a great thing.
But that's the whole problem, is that everybody wants to do what everybody is doing. You know, it's the norm. You know, just like some people, you know, like their family, you know, you may come from a family of doctors, and this person want to be an artist. He doesn't want to be a doctor. He wants to be an artist. And then he's a doctor because that's what the family says. Be a doctor, you're good. And then he's miserable the whole time. And he does drugs and stuff like that. And then when he falls, the first people that's gonna say something is the core.
Facts.
But he didn't want to be a doctor in the first place. I want to be an artist. But I wanted to please you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because my family, they come from doctors, so I'm going to be a doctor. Just like people, my father was a preacher, I'm going to be a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't have to be just like your dad or your mother. Be better, because you being who you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we, as your collective of people that you are born into, that's what that should be encouragement. Those words should be spoken. Individuality. Be who you are. Be the best at what you are. If you want to be a bum, be the best bum out there.
Right.
And I mean, it's just that as being in a nucleus of people who are just surviving, as you said, they're not thriving. They're just surviving. And this worked for us, so we're gonna stay with it. But like any and everything in this world, it gets old. Now, somebody might have been a doctor. Well, you don't have to be a doctor, be a dentist. You know, there may be somebody who want to be a dentist. Might want to be sports medicine. Doesn't have to follow the footsteps and be a pediatrician like their dad or their mom. But be who you want to be and be happy with yourself. As you said, if you make it $10 to $50, you're still the same person. At the end of the day, you're still the same person. And like my dad used to tell me, as long as you got to sign a check, you ain't rich. Somebody signing your check, you ain't rich. When you start signing checks, but it's not a competition. Not a competition. Because what you make is going to go back into your nucleus anyway, right? Your family. That's where it's going to go back into. Nobody's going to sit there and say, well, so-and-so done made it. Come on, give me mine. Because everybody's going to eat. Because people they help each other. So we got to start doing that. When we see things, we need to speak up. You see a kid that don't want to go over uncle's house or auntie's house. That's why. And it's not to jump on the individual, it's to stop it. And I mean, instead of ignoring things, yes, auntie has issues over here. She never got treatment. She never got help for it. So we just put her in the corner. It's like on Pet Cemetery. Remember the sister that was up in the attic?
Zelda.
Yeah. She was the secret. We got to stop the secrets. Because those people are in the attic and in the closet because they the one who's been set aside, that's been ostracized out of the family. When those people should be the ones inside the family, but then you wonder why. Just like she had arthritis, right?
You know, it's like cerebral palsy or something like that.
And she had, you remember she was all skinny and stuff?
Yeah, it was like a muscular dystrophy or something like that. Yeah.
And then somebody in your family, hey, somebody might get sick. Where did that come from? You know, does anybody in your family have this? I don't know. And then you come home, don't bring up nothing. You know, that's how some people are. Don't bring up nothing. She hit her head. That's what happened with her. No, but she was sick. There's nothing wrong with it. She didn't get help, but you were able to get help for her now. Because when you get help, now you can understand what's going on with her. And if she's still alive, you can sit and help her.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm talking about healing. As far as when we heal, we help our family heal by using the tools that we've learned. And you open up your bag of tricks, and you help them to learn how to use the proper tools. You can't use a screwdriver for a boat, and you can't use scissors for a boat. Although it can grip around it a little bit, you can't use it because you're going to end up hurting yourself. You can't. And we grew up with where our parents used knives for screwdrivers, shoes for hammers. Use the right tools. Just use the right tools. And if you don't know the tools, there's so much information now. Hey, I'm feeling this way. You go online, you can Google it. They even got therapy online now. You don't even have to be face to face. You can just be talking, texting. So the help is there, and it's nothing wrong with getting help. But the first step is self-acknowledgement. That's the first step, is acknowledging I have a problem. I have issues. And then once you start pulling the layers off, you start seeing it's deeper than what you thought it was. You know, you're not just drinking because your family, my family drinks, so that's how I drink. That's why I drink so much, because my family drinks. Yeah, because a lot of people are dealing with a lot of unhealed trauma. And the alcohol became that mask. And it's time to drop the mask and be authentic. That's the only way to do it. Because we're in a whole new time and era right now. We in something that this world has never seen. And everything that people talk about, oh, that's new. No. That's not new. There's nothing new under the sun. These are things that have been suppressed. All these things that's coming up is because people have suppressed things by beliefs. Majority of it is beliefs, what someone else has told them. And they suppress it and suppress it. But how much can you bury? You can't ignore the rug over there that's bulging up from all the stuff you're trying to hide. Are we going to address that? And that's what happens once you start addressing it, peeling back those layers. You're doing it out of love. You're not doing it out of hate. You're doing it out of love. And if you don't get the support there, that's fine. That's fine. Ain't your people anyway. What you say, Yolanda?
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Exactly. Just got to move on. And sometimes it may not be your people you related to, but it'll be somebody else that you consider your family, that you're healing for them. Because, hey, I can identify with what you're talking about. You know, I was going through that same thing, but this is how I did it. This is how I dealt with that. And before you know it, you gonna heal anyway. Your people, your generation gonna heal too, because you're making that choice to heal. So, what happened before you is not gonna even matter. If people still want to sit in their funk, let them sit. But before you, I seen this the other day. You can't enjoy the lotus if you can't stand the smell, because the lotus grows in the most nastiest, stinkiest, murky, ugh, but it's beautiful, and we all go through shit
Hmm.
to come out shining, and that's the whole thing. Is we gotta let it go, because it's not ours. We're holding on to other people's traumas. We walking around with it in our backpacks, just walking through, and it has nothing to do with us. But once you let it go, it's lighter. Seriously, I promise you, it's lighter. It's real light. You just float. Before you dread walking through. Now you float. The more and more you deal with, more and more you let go. Hey, that didn't even have nothing to do with me. Let it go. That's why you got to do that inventory.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. But I think the kids are getting it more than anything, though, because that's who I more like try to talk to, like more the teenagers or people in their young 20s and stuff, you know. Because unfortunately, like most of the older generation, they just stuck in their ways, you know. Unfortunately, you know, especially when it comes to, like I said, breaking them secrets or just like just talking about anything really, you know. But yeah, that's why I definitely, like I said, try to focus on more of the younger crowd because they definitely getting it more than previous generations, just due to since it's more open these days and things of that nature. So they come into things a little more objectively, you know, opposed to past generations or even my generation, you know. Like, but yeah, so you definitely feel that, man. You know, but you definitely right, man. You gotta let stuff go, and then like I said, you can't be holding on to, like I said, because secrets are detrimental, man. Secrets can get you killed. Secrets have you go to jail. Secrets cause disease. Secrets cause a lot of things, you know. Just because you're scared to say something, you know. Because we got this thing in our culture of being a snitch, you know. Hey, man, that don't apply if you're not a criminal, man, you know. Like, if we ain't robbing a bank, hey, man, tell me what's going on, man, you know. Hey, man. You got to trust me to react as an adult if you tell me certain things as well, you know. Because that's what people be more scared of as far as holding on to secrets. They be more scared of the reaction or if you want to, tell on them. Oh, yeah, such told me this. You know, so I get why a lot of people don't be saying nothing too, but that don't make it right, you know. But that's when it comes to the discernment and knowing the correct people to talk to or feel free to talk to. So which is part of healing too, because once you do start fixing on yourself and working on yourself, you'll start making better decisions or putting yourself in better environments. So naturally, it's gonna be better people around you. So, and then that's when you gotta, like I said, use your discernment. Not run your mouth to anybody, but certain people have certain qualities that that okay, maybe I can trust this person. But I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect every time, but for the most part, like I said, if you're at that level to where you are around a lot better people, then chances are it's less likely of those things happening to you. So now you can't be afraid. 'Cause like I said, because some people can't handle isolation or all that by themselves. So isolation drives people crazy. So, well, certain people, you know. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little jittery myself. I can't sit around too long by myself. You know, I gotta go talk to mommy poo or do something, you know, go play with my dog or do something, you know. But I mean, just find healthy avenues like that as well. It doesn't always have to be a person, you know, or like we were saying earlier, get a hobby or a nice pet that you love or care about, or you know, stuff like that, you know.
All right, we at the
Yep.
8:55.
At the finish line.
Yeah, we at the finish line. I'm glad that you guys,
Subscribe to the YouTube.
yeah, subscribe. Project 360 with the 3. 994. Raphael, what's your YouTube channel?
Mine is I need to start posting some music on here. PTU Insights 6487.
So subscribe, and you know we appreciate you guys stopping by. Even if you may stop by for a minute, you
Right, for
still
sure.
stop by. We appreciate it. And yeah, that is we gotta heal. We gotta heal. And that's my closing word right there. We gotta heal. You
Yeah.
guys got any closing words?
No, I agree, man. And, you know, don't be scared to, you know, vent or, you know, as long as it's healthy and like you said, just heal, man, and keep working on it, you know. You're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, but you know, before you know it, the good days gonna outweigh the bad. So just stay at it. Be consistent.
Somebody said they need to go out.
All right.
You hear?
I'm here.
All right. You guys have a good
All
night.
right, you too.
Love. That's all love.
All love.
Come on now.